Welcome back to part 2 of dealing with bones on a budget. So I thought, because I am neurospicy and often we start a project and forget about it, so I thought it would probably be best if I showed you for this second part what to do worst case scenario and you've forgotten that you've put the bones in water and it's a week later. What the fuck do you do? So here I have left the bones in water for a week. I didn't forget about them. I actively chose to do this because I'll be lying if I said that I haven't forgotten them in the past. Life gets in the way, the brain does a million weird things. Let's roll with it. So this is what she's looking like. You can see all of this here. That's grease formation on the top. Amazing how water can just do that. But she's stinky. So let's fix it. So I'm just going to tip this out onto the grass. It's a beautiful sunny day today. So we're just going to tip it onto the grass. It is natural, so it is fine. And just like that, I think I can pull this skin off now. And I can. Now we're going to add more water. So ultimately, worst case scenario is that if you've left it a little bit long, you will get more discoloration and you'll be dealing with something more stinky. But look, the brain is weird and wonderful. Sometimes we remember shit, sometimes we don't. Point is, we can work with that. So I have got fresh water here and I have put some of that coal power in it. I have my trusty little toothbrush and we're just going to brush very gently. We're just going to brush. Obviously don't use the same toothbrush that you'll be using again. But we're just cleaning, giving her a well-deserved bath. Now, on a side note, you may hear me refer to animals, the earth, as she. That doesn't necessarily mean that the earth is a she. It's just part of my folk practice, I guess, Irish folk practice, to have the earth be feminine. She is the life giver of which everything is born. So if you're in a culture or a practice or just within your own personal gnosis, you hear me talking about she, please take no offense when I refer to the earth as that. It's just part of my own folk practice, my own personal Irish practice belief. Earth is a she. So I'm just intuitively scrubbing. I'm using a soft bristle toothbrush. I would recommend using a soft bristle toothbrush. They are more delicate. And it just ensures that you're not going to grate or damage the bone in any way, shape or form. You want to avoid that. Now, inside that nose cavity, there was a lot more soft tissue than I expected, and that's okay. Sometimes shit like that happens. It is what it is. So we are just going to clean her, give her a good brush, and then I'm going to soak her again after I rinse her thoroughly. I really enjoy this part. I know this is going to sound really strange, but for me it's almost like when it helps you build a connection with the animal. For me it's like, you know, when you've been really dirty, like you're covered in dirt, you've been yard working or you haven't bathed in ages and it's like finally you're having a bath but you're being pampered. I see it as that. For me this is like a really sweet way to connect with the animal because you're gently cleaning her, you're making sure that she feels good within herself to then be able to work with you on a more deeper level once she's ready and prepared. I don't know, I just really like this part. It just feels really wholesome and sweet. So now that I'm happy with how much I've cleaned her, I'm going to tip this out. I'm going to rinse down the bowl. I'm going to tip this out into the garden away from plants and things like that. But I am going to rinse and clean out the bowl and then refill it, and I'll show you when that's done. Okay, so bowl is clean. We have her here. Oh, yay! More bits are getting dislodged. Perfect. I may have to refill this with water again. So this is her. So this is what will happen if you leave it for a long period of time without changing the water. You will get that deepening discoloration color. Now, it will also be stinkier. So because we have left it for a longer period of time, I really would recommend this time adding some of that bioenzyme. You don't need a lot. It's just to help remove the smell that may have stained the bones. And life happens, don't feel bad about this. Just make sure that you set a timer this time. Alright? And now she is safely in the bowl. If you've still got some soft tissue parts, by all means try and pull them off. Sometimes I find that they have to be cut off with scissors. Don't stress too much. The whole point of this is to show you that it doesn't have to be expensive, it doesn't have to be hard, and it can be done extremely respectfully. But I hope this helps. Toodaloo.